The government's published its preferred route for the second phase of the high-speed rail project HS2, linking Birmingham to Leeds and Manchester. It includes using the existing station in Sheffield and building the line through a new housing estate. Well, let's talk about the proposals with the leader of Leeds City Council, Councillor Judith Blake, and Joe Rukin, who's in our Coventry studio. He's the campaign manager for the protest group Stop HS2. Judith Blake, is this good news for Leeds?
Good morning. Yes, it is. We've been campaigning for HS2 for some time, and that's not just Leeds. It's the whole of the region around Leeds. We have a chronic problem in the north, underinvestment, overcapacity, lines absolutely full, and trains just is shocking. What passengers have to put up with, and then you look at the journey times, and if you think getting from Leeds to Nottingham takes 2 hours if you're lucky, but really for us, it's about unlocking the economy in the north.
Well, what do you think is going to change, assuming this line gets built and it's not due to be completed for another 17 years or so? What will change?
We're already feeling the change. There's an increase in confidence in the city. Leeds isn't alone in this, but Leeds is a thriving financial centre, but also a very important manufacturing centre. And we have companies coming to us wanting to relocate to Leeds because they are very excited about HS2 coming in, the biggest station in the north already, doubling in size, and the doubling of trains, trebling of seats, connectivity around the north. This is not just about fast trains from the south up to the north. This is about unlocking the potential of the whole of the north of England.
Okay, Joe Rukin, I mean, the way Judith Blake describes it, it sounds amazing. What are your concerns?
Well, she's been brought in by the spin, unfortunately. It absolutely is about fast trains from the north to London and nothing else whatsoever. The reality is that the vast majority of passengers will still face crush hour conditions because there are so few people who HS2 will benefit. It's just a point-to-point service. And of course, as the government have announced today, freeing up capacity means losing the trains you already have. The reality is that there's £8.3 billion worth of cuts buried in the HS2 business plan. The current intercity service from Leeds to London goes down from 3 an hour to 1 an hour at a time of massive, massive cuts elsewhere. And of course, in terms of jobs, the reality is that the vast majority of jobs will be relocated into London. This is what has happened all across the world where high-speed rail networks have been put in. The economic benefits drain to the capital city.
Okay, Judith Blake, I mean, he's right.
Well, actually, the reverse is starting to happen, and companies in London are getting priced out of the market. You've heard of North Shoring, where many companies are looking at moving out. We already have companies moving up to Leeds. So Burberry chose to move its iconic manufacturer trench coat.
As Joe says, it's not as a result of HS2.
They have made it very clear that HS2 was one of the main considerations in terms of how we're going to improve connectivity to the region. Fasten, the same. Other companies, we've got the biggest regeneration project in Europe, just south of the station. And the line is coming right in, and we have 10,000 young people moving onto that site with expertise being developed, the skills we need for building the line, but also the jobs that will be created as a result.
Joe Rukin, do come back on that.
Well, in terms of the regeneration around the station site, the station site in Leeds was 10 feet underwater earlier this year. But, the actuality of HS2 is it doesn't solve Britain's transport infrastructure problems. It is simply something that has been lobbied for by the people who have a vested interest in constructing it. And you look at what it was and what it is, it was £30 billion and it was going to connect to HS1 in the Channel Tunnel, it was going to connect to Heathrow. Both of those links have been cut, but the cost is now officially £56 billion. If you look at what the National Audit Office say, probably £63 billion. And it has been built, it is being justified by a grossly inflated passenger forecast. And that is a massive, massive worry, because if the figures are out the same way they were out with HS1 in Kent, you could be looking at putting in a subsidy of up to £500 million a year for something that only benefits the richest in society.
What do you say, as the leader of Leeds City Council, to those people whose homes will be demolished? They will have to uproot their lives in order to make way for this railway line.
So the Leeds situation is we've actually negotiated with HS2 and where it goes near to houses, they're going to actually put a tunnel in instead of the proposed route. Of course,
would you want to live alongside that while they're building a tunnel?
Of course we have sympathy with the people alongside the route, but I have sympathy with the many, many thousands of young people in the north of England who have no prospects of getting a job. It's absolutely crucial that we unlock the economy of the north of England. And I say to people like Joe, come up to Yorkshire, come to the northwest, come and talk to us about the impact, how we're working to make sure HS2 does have connectivity and improves the lines across east to west across the north, but also importantly up to Scotland as well.
Do you want to do that, Joe, or have you done it?
Well, of course, I've been all over the country, but I would say to Judith is talk to the people of Leeds. You know, this is the thing, you're talking to the business leaders, you're talking to the councillors, you're in this bubble that thinks this is a great idea. The same thing's true in Birmingham. You know, everyone there, from council leaders, Chamber of Commerce leaders, thinks it's a great idea. Recently, last month, people in Birmingham were surveyed, less than a third thought HS2 was a good idea.
Okay,
you'll find exactly the same thing in Leeds when you're having so many cuts in public services.
Thought it was a good idea in Birmingham. Have you asked the people of Leeds?
Yeah, well, I say again, come and talk to the young people who are so excited about the skills, the college in Doncaster that's opening this year, the potential that is being unlocked. We're not in a bubble. We consult regularly. And as I say, come and talk to us and understand the bigger picture that we're all involved in.
Thank you both. Thank you very much, Judith Blake, leader of Leeds City Council. Joe Rukin, thank you very much, campaign manager for Stop HS2.